All right, ARCA at Vegas. This is kind of a tough lap. I thought I was going to spend 5 minutes on this, and I've spent like 20 on this. So 16 to 1 plus 2, 57. Just what I'm comfortable at. Feel free to move around the offset and steering ratio, especially. I think this is going to be a first lap hot lap. This car really likes to be cold tires, or at least not like heated up. So the first lap to me has more grip than the second lap. We will try a second lap though, assuming that I get a decent run here. Try not to slide up here. If you slide, then you really kill your run up. Okay, set up a little wide. This 1 and 2 can take a little bit more wheel than 3 and 4. Try to keep it a little bit snug here. Good. 3 and 4 exit's gonna get really loose though. So we'll set up wide. We'll get ourselves a lot of nose angle. Then we'll just kind of let the car sit a little bit more down here. Try to drive the car a little bit snug. Try not to get the tightness off the corner. Bring it down to the apron. So we're a little bit off, but you'll be able to see, even if we're 5.5 here, I don't have the grip anymore to make this turn work. And then in 3 and 4, I just won't have the grip anymore either. Yeah, there's no grip. And with these full throttle hot laps, it's all about how long can you both keep the pedal down, but at the same time not disengage your rear tires. That's really all this is about. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a first lap hot lap for you. Run up, just run up top, and there's a bump that is right, like there, right there, right there. And if you have a ton of wheel over that bump, it'll start sliding your tires a bit, so make sure to avoid that. But other than that, it's kind of just super speedway. So this isn't full throttle both ways around. I'm sure you could, but it's just not fast because of how much you're sliding the tire doing so. So turn 1, I start out wide. I kind of wait until the last second. You can see the banking starts dropping about like right here. I'm not worried about saving tire, so I'm just trying to keep my car straight under me. And you can see through this little landing right here, it gets a little bit tight. So you can tend to aim a little bit farther towards the white line than you think, because you'll get straightened out just a little bit before then. And then if you overcompensate a bit, you'll be compensated back in. But you don't want to get loose here because you just lose a ton of time sliding. You'd rather get just a little bit tight and have a little bit of a close call with the wall. But this is pretty comfortable. It feels like you're getting tight here, but this car really can hook off the exit. It really hooks up in that last lane up there. 3 and 4 a little bit more challenging. Around this white line here, I start turning in, get a really wide late apex setup, and then I'm lifting a little bit, and then once I get to the white line, I'm just going to sit on that 3/4 throttle for just a little bit, because if I go full throttle immediately there, I'm going to start sliding tire. So I got to wait on that 3/4 throttle and then go full throttle only later. The earlier you can push that full throttle, the faster your lap time is going to be, but you also have to keep your right rear tire under you in order to do so. In terms of the race here, should be a draft pack race. Pretty standard for the ARCA these days. I am thinking, especially at these hot temperatures, this might end up as a top once the tires start wearing out. It's one of those races where you're spending 20 laps in a pack, and then whoever has the best tires from then on out pulls away. So you either you really want the lead, or you want like a place where you're not getting challenged, or you just want to be hanging off the back of the draft. You don't want to be one of those guys that's battling for position but not really moving front because of it. If you're going to be battling, you need to be that guy who's battling front. Like, oh yeah. It gets tight up there. So you will have to lift by the time you run the top. Especially in 3. 3's not really a good top corner. It does open up a bit right here to where it's more comfortable, but the entry, it always feels a little bit sketchy. The real thing about the top, though, is that you still want to point your car just as early, even if you're running the top. So like I'm pointing the car early, still running the top. And you see how the car just sticks a lot better if I get that car pointed early, get that quick lift. Yeah, the top definitely is slower than the bottom for short run though. I like a full quick lift off here. Allows me to set up for the exit a lot better. That's probably what I should have been doing in my hot lap, is going for that quick lift. I got stuck in the old ARCA mindset there. I now realize quick lifts are so good at rotating the car. Almost too good, you see there. Just partial throttle really doesn't get you much rotation in this car. I'd rather be either full throttle or off throttle. Quick lift, get the rotation back in it. And then you see how loose it can get going over some of the bumps there. You want to really avoid that tire scrub there on the rears. You want to go out of your way to get the car a little bit snug on the exit of 3 and 4. You don't really need help with that. Oh, you kind of do when you're running the bottom both ends. You really need to take care of your tires. I almost like alternating lines in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Like top 1 and 2, bottom 3 and 4. So here I'm just driving it a little bit snug. Oh no, it's still getting loose. Yeah, you guys are... Being over aggressive on the exit 3 and 4 is going to cause you to scrub a lot of right rear. And that'll compound and it'll be tough for your race. Driving the top is a good way to get the car off the right rear and onto the right front. Although I say that, it still gets onto the right rear there. So with this track temperature, it might be a little bit difficult. Try to push the nose a little bit without really missing the corner. Like if I push the nose a little bit here, get a little bit tight entry, but then wait long enough to where I'm still pulling out the wheel at the right time. Man, it still gets it, huh? Well, this might just... All right, plan C. It's a throttle control race. Plan C. Get into the corner, partial throttle, and just slowly ramp up. And then you avoid all that. I didn't think... Well, it's been kind of a thing in ARCA, I guess. Slowly ramp up to full. Here. And that will pay off, especially later in the run when the lap times are further off from each other. Now let's go see how much I murdered my right rear tire. And that is not what you want to do in the ARCA car. Very easy to murder the right rear tire, even if the car feels like it gets tight on entry, because it snaps a lot. Yeah, murder. So, learn from that. Try to keep the car off the right rear. Slow, smooth up throttle. That's what you'll need.